Hello everyone, it's Roger and Abe here with the episode 18 of the Disney Infinity and Beyond webcast for Vinimation Kingdom. I'm a bit tongue-tied there this morning. Okay, so we got Abe there over in sunny Los Angeles. And
Rainy.
Rainy in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was a miracle.
Wow. It's all foggy here. It is. It's the 1st of December here in the UK, so I've got my advent calendar all ready to go. But yes, so
almost there.
Yeah, nearly there. Yeah, it's nearly Christmas. So a big hello to all of our sort of viewers, and also to hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving in the US, and also to anyone that managed to get a good Black Friday deal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, we're going to kick off with, we've got a few little bits of news today, not a huge amount. We just got some information about a new Disney album that was discovered in Toys R Us, a calendar that's out in the UK and Hong Kong. This little guy, the Sorcerer Mickey, is out this week in the US, and he's sort of broke one of the, it's out in the UK as well. But our big discussion point for this week, we thought we had to do it. It's going to be the new Star Wars Force Awakens trailer. We thought we're going to cover this one here and just kind of give our thoughts on the trailer, but more importantly, what we think from this trailer we think might be happening with Infinity, and just having a bit of fun with it and just making the most of some sort of a little bit of speculation. So let's kick off with some of the news for the week. There's Darth Vader. I'm not too sure how much he's going to be in that one, but anyway. First off, just want to say we have got a competition currently running on VinimationKingdom.com where you can win. This week we're giving away Tinkerbell and Donald Duck. We've got those figures to give away. Last week Jennifer won Maleficent and Merida. Next week is Hero and Bimax being given away, and then finally the week after we have an Xbox One Toy Box Starter Pack to give away. So you'll find all the information over on VinimationKingdom.com, and I will be putting the link to that in the comments below. So
free figures, guys, go.
Yep,
go
free figures.
Enter the contest.
Yep, all you need to do is put your email address or log in through Facebook, and you can get additional sort of entries by sort of following us on Twitter and Facebook.
Of course. Thanks to the Disney Infinity team again for sponsoring it.
Yes,
so.
Couldn't do it without them. So a big thank you to those guys. Okay, so that's our kind of, we've got the competition thing. So well done to everyone that's going to enter that one, and good luck, and hopefully, if you're after that one, that'll be a good little boost before Christmas. Okay, so let's get on to the news. It's a bit of a quiet news week now that the Black Friday is all out the way. To be honest, where I'm expecting the next few weeks is going to be slightly quieter, as we've got the sort of the holiday season is sort of upon us now. First off, it was discovered in Toys R Us that we have. I'm just trying to find the folder. Here we go. There was a new Disney Infinity folder out for about $24.99, and it featured. The two I've just put up on the screen here are the ones we knew about from Target and GameStop. But there was a new one that came out which had 5 new power discs, including the It's a Small World, Terrain and Skydome. We also had the Electrical Parade Rare included in it. And it just features an assortment of the characters on front. It was a little bit sort of funny. I'm just going to bring up the browser here now with it on so we can have a quick look at it if you're watching us on YouTube. For those of us on iTunes, you can check it out on VinimationKingdom.com. Here we go. It also has Mr. Toad and the Alice in Wonderland. So did you see this, Abe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially, I'm especially noticing that they have a rare this time since GameStop had the Yondu.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that they're throwing in a rare. But I did go actually because of all the Black Friday shopping stuff, I did go to 2 different Toys R Us, and they did not have them at all, so they weren't out at all. No. However, I did see the Target exclusive, and I did see the GameStop exclusive when I went to those stores.
I don't
know if it's out in select areas or... Yeah, I don't know.
There was a bit of a misprint on the Toys R Us advert. It was saying it was $9.99 and it's $24.99. And the stores have been informed that it was a misprint, and Toys R Us aren't sort of offering it for $9.99. So if you're trying to sort of argue the case, they literally have said it was a misprint, and they aren't selling it at that price. I've got to admit, I think if I saw that in the store over the weekend, I would have picked it up because I need 3 of those power discs. And it would have been cheaper to buy the album than to actually buy them on eBay, because with the Rare and the Skydomes the way they are with the prices, that would have been a good deal. Notice it's kind of almost like a Disneyland kind of themed power disc set. All sort of rides, and it's all about rides. So I thought that would have been, that would have been quite a cool exclusive for the parks, really, but rather than Toys R Us.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that jumped out at me. Again, pretty cool. You've got a couple of the 1.0 characters on there as well. If a lot of people are sort of enjoying those albums because they're pretty big and a lot of fun.
I like them. I feel like I have like 3 different types of albums now, and I'm not crazy about it. But it's cool, like you said, because you can get power discs that are hard to get. And I don't know, you tapped onto something that I was thinking about, how it could have been a theme park exclusive.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that was the original thought at first, including the Crystal Mickey, and just for whatever case it changes, and then, hey, now it's available to everybody. So it's still cool.
I mean, it's a shame they didn't put them out when they put the power discs out, because I think they might have been a bit more popular. Because people brought the other album, or they've done it. Doesn't look like there's been no indication that they are coming out outside of America yet, so it might just be an American exclusive. I know some of the accessories sometimes don't always get released everywhere. They're just quite often just limited to the US.
Yeah.
Another sort of general little bit of information was there's a new calendar out in the UK, and also I think it's out in Hong Kong as well. It's a original 2015 calendar. It just features all of the 1.0 characters. No update for 2.0 at all. To be honest, it looks like it's been given out by a branding deal, and it looks nice, but to be honest, I think the fact that it's all 1.0 characters is a little bit... I might wait till February and pick it up for £1. Just to... But yeah, it is out. So I think if you're really into Disney Infinity, you want to pick that one up. But does seem a bit sort of a shame that it's not got any sort of 2.0 stuff on it. So that's that bit. There's also the main bit of news for everyone this week is on Friday in the US. Sorcerer Crystal Mickey, that I'm just putting up here. He is out in the US on Friday. Came out here in the UK on one of the retailers. Again, we're getting sort of different conflicting stories over here that the European dates are a bit fuzzy. That's not really too abnormal. But he is out. I have put up a unboxing and a gameplay footage video up on our YouTube channel, as well as on VinomationKingdom.com, giving my thoughts on him.
Some targets have been breaking the street date out here as well.
Yeah, it's I gotta admit, I was a little bit underwhelmed when I started playing with him, because I don't think I'd really used him that much, or used the main Sorcerer Mickey since getting 2.0, and not having all those special moves and the skill trees. The first characters feel a little bit sort of underpowered compared to them. It certainly would be a fair fight if you were in a 2-player mode.
Yeah.
No. But if you want to finish off your Infinity collection, you'll want to pick this one up. It looks pretty cool. But there we go. So that's the last figure for this year. It's probably going to be the last Crystal variant. And yeah, so that's kind of alright. Okay, so before we go into the Star Wars, we'll just finish off with the toy boxes of the week. Okay, now this week's theme was basically, I think it was called Disney Infinity Team are on holiday, and they just chucked out some toy boxes that were really good. Because I logged on Thursday morning and saw all the toy boxes, and I was like, hey? And then looked onto the website and thought, yep, they've just picked 5 really cool toy boxes, that had been made randomly, and so they're all on holiday, so they decided to put them up. So that was this week's random theme.
Some of them were kind of cool though.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing is, sometimes not always the best toy boxes are being done for the weekly theme. They're just good toy boxes put up. So I think they should do this every now and again. Is just do like a random theme and just pull great toy boxes down.
yeah, I agree.
You know,
Um,
yeah,
there's just a lot of cool things with the new Logic toys. Some impressive ones, like for example, somebody did like a board game,
yeah,
um, and kind of reminded me of Candyland. It was really cool. It was very very cool.
yeah.
Just the buttons and the colors. It was really cool.
I mean, there's been quite a few toy boxes this week because you had the main five, which was Sugar Rush by Spark S81677, Wonderland by Diz Explorer 03, Group Ball by Drawings Are Sketchy, Pixie Hollow Hunt by Mighty Jitus, and Frozen World by Mighty M. Now, I remember playing Pixie Hollow Hunt about 2 months ago when the game first came out. She did that toy box, so that was a good
It was
one.
still fun too.
It is a
Yeah.
lot of fun flying around. There's a couple of toy boxes from the toy box team. We had a Thanksgiving one, which you basically had to fly around and sort of go through loops. Did you? That one had some really cool box art that I thought was rather cool as balloons.
Yeah, I didn't really touch those. I just touched the top five or the random five.
Yeah. And there was two other toy boxes that were done by some Disney sort of people that were on the TV. Captain Sparks and I can't even pronounce it, Oriolanas or something. And there was also a retro dungeon toy box. Now the two Disney Channel ones, personally, I had a look at them. They were just two random assortments of stuff just chucked together with no kind of. It looked like just that kind of thing of someone's just gone in, found a load of toys and chucked them down, and there wasn't really any sort of theming. There was nothing to do in terms of playing kind of thing. So those two were a bit more random, but Retro Dungeon was it was like an old Zelda game or something I would have played on my sort of Atari. Any thoughts on this week's toy boxes? Or anyone that stood out as your favourite?
Not really. I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, like I said, I didn't really get to play any of those boxes. I just played the random five recently because we celebrate Thanksgiving out
Yeah.
here, and then we had Black Friday. But again, it just me revisiting, like for example, the Pixie Hollow one was fun, but I was still impressed with just the board game one. Not because even though it looks kind of simple, it takes a lot of time to do all that logic. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was impressed.
I must have missed that one because I will admit I tend to go straight to the toy box team. That's the first sort of they're the first toy boxes I always tend to be drawn to. So I did both of them, and I played the two Disney Channel games, and then I noticed that a couple of the toy boxes this week are 2-player only, so I didn't go into them so much. I think Frozen World that was really hard.
Yeah,
that was,
but it was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Regardless of how difficult it was.
But it was a lot of
big
fun.
Stadium.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. But yeah, this next week's theme Wednesdays is going to be, I think it's Gravity Falls.
Yeah, they gave us an extra week for that one.
Yeah, they gave us an extra week for that one. So it's I think it's the Big Hero 6 toy boxes are coming out this week, and then Gravity Falls next week. So that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what everyone pulls in from those on there. Mm-hmm. Right. So now this is where it gets a little bit more fun. So we are going to kick off with the trailer of the Star Wars. So I'm going to play that one while we're just kind of talking off. So Abe, what did you think of this trailer first off?
Well, I was a little confused, a little intrigued. Definitely was teased by it, but there's just a nice little. I do like seeing a fresh cast.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, this is just a little tease.
Yes.
It's not revealing anything. I did like seeing the new droid that they had. I was gonna say also, if you really paid attention in the background, you saw like old pod racer
Yes,
parts.
I saw that afterwards. After I watched quite a few sort of, or read quite a few bits and pieces of sort of people going through and sort of dissecting it scene by scene.
Yeah, and then there was big buzz with the main gentleman, John. I forget his last name. He's a British actor, I believe.
Yeah,
You should know him. For him being dressed up in a stormtrooper
yeah,
outfit, that kind of like was throwing off everybody. But definitely the biggest buzz, aside from um, everything that was new and fresh, the biggest buzz was that lightsaber that looked
yes,
resembled an actual sword.
yeah,
Um, that was pretty cool. But anyways, going back on what I thought about the trailer, so it was all like confusing, intriguing. Like it felt like it felt foreign to me. But once we finally saw that money shot with the Millennium
yeah.
Falcon and some TIE fighters, like, oh, here's Star Wars.
And then
Like,
the
oh,
music,
this
and
is
then the
awesome.
music kicked in, and I remember actually, even watching it. I mean, I've watched about 7 or 8 times now, and
Mhm.
there was a number of times that music kicked in with the Millennium Falcon, and I actually would get, I think I got like goosebumps down the back one time when
Yeah,
I
once the
watched it,
music kicked
and I
in,
was just
yeah.
like, oh, and it's like, yeah, that you don't get that very often from trailers where you get that sort of level of excitement that quickly. Um,
Now, another thing that I noticed too, it was being narrated almost like it sounded like either a Sith Lord was narrating, and I was gonna ask you, do you think that was Cumberbatch?
no, it's
That's what
not.
it
It's
sounded like.
been confirmed as was it Andy, the guy that plays Gollum? So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's got a very
Still
small,
cool.
yeah, he's got a small role. Andy, he's another British actor.
Andy Day or something like
No, no,
that, or
I can't think of what it is. Yeah,
oh,
The
sorry,
force is strong
sorry.
with him.
Was that Yoda?
yeah, that no Gollum.
Oh, Gollum? No, no, that's not Gollum. It's my process. That's Gollum.
But yeah, so he's it's that kind of thing. At first, I must admit, I got stung on YouTube earlier in the week with a fan-made trailer that was very
Oh
well
God,
done.
yeah.
That So when that first Star Wars trailer hit online and I saw it and I'm like, it's nothing, nothing, nothing. And then he pops up, right? And I'm thinking, this is a fan made one. I just took this instant connection and went, this is fake. This
Oh
isn't a
yeah.
real one. And it started kicking off and it went along and I'm going, what? I don't understand. I didn't get it. And it was only about halfway through I suddenly triggered on the fact that no, this is the real thing. So then, the minute it finished, I then hit replay, and then obviously that little guy, that when he pops up, it didn't scare me because you're sort of sitting there and he just pops up and he completely throws. And I can see why they've done it. It's completely thrown everyone's expectations of what to expect out the
Yeah.
window.
No,
Um,
absolutely. No, and it's true because I saw at least three very, very well done fan-made trailers that could have completely
yeah,
fooled anybody. Um, I mean, there was even one where they were using footage from the video game Destiny, and
yeah,
then they also had Harrison Ford from the movie Ender's Game, and
yeah,
they had photoshopped a name tag saying Harrison Ford. It's like, okay, you would think it would say Han Solo.
yeah,
Come on, people.
yeah.
But anyways, going back to the real trailer, it's definitely a tease. I mean, I wasn't like going crazy and berserk like I did when I first saw like episode 1 trailers,
Yeah.
obviously before the movie even came out. Because like, oh man, it's Star Wars is coming back again. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. But with this one, it's like I like that JJ is giving us just a taste, not an actual trailer. So,
And
but
it's
it opens up speculation for so
yeah,
much.
and it also, I mean, I like the fact that it's kind of, it feels like a sequel. This isn't a prequel. This isn't where they're trying to tell you where they're going to. This is all new. We don't know where it's going. We don't know what it's going. We don't really know who the cast are. We don't know what the story is.
Right.
And also, I love the fact that you've got lots. You've got TIE fighters. You've got the X-wing. You've got the Millennium Falcon. You've got classic stuff in there. But what's really interesting is they've clearly shown the fact that they've shown 4 new characters, all brand new. They are putting the
Yep.
emphasis on the new characters straight off the word go. So we're a year out from it being released, so it's still a long way to go. But for a teaser trailer, I think it did exactly what what they wanted.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely fun to watch. And I don't know. I just can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and this is the thing of really of what we wanted to talk about here was really because it was all new and different. We want to kind of pretty much bring it down to the Disney Infinity level of looking at this trailer and thinking, well, what does this mean for Disney Infinity? And my instant gut reaction is they've been teasing us with Star Wars in the last every now and again, but if this is the big Disney release, big Disney movie for next year, it's going to be in Disney Infinity in the next edition. I can't see it not being in there.
And see, for me, I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because the movie doesn't come out until December.
Yeah.
If we're looking at an annual DI release, 3.0 should be releasing well in advance before the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Which leads you to that whole
Guardians.
that game of risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Guardians, you had Lone Ranger, like.
Yeah. So it shows that they've done it.
Frozen. Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't know. I feel like with Guardians and Lone Ranger, you can sort of mess around and kind of like estimate what it's supposed to come out to. But with Star Wars, I don't feel like you can really mess with that. You know what I mean? You don't want to.
Well, I don't know. See,
it's a huge fan base. Right there.
In all honesty, I felt both the Lone Ranger and the Guardians they weren't based on the movie, and they've said this before.
Right.
So they were very random assortments of just characters and stories ish. I think that Disney have got, they've essentially got at this precise minute, it's December. They've got maybe 9 months before release of 3.0, if it's August or September. They've said themselves that they can get figures turned around in around that time. And that's obviously if they've seen the trailer this weekend, but they'll have had sketches and artwork sent to them before. So they've probably they could have been working on this for 6 months, a year already. I know they were working on the Marvel stuff before Disney Infinity 1 even came out. So they might have, they've already. I just believe that if Star Wars is the major movie out during this life cycle of 3.0, they aren't going to completely miss it. I mean, I think if you've got for example, in this case, or next year we've got the new Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this life cycle of Disney Infinity at the minute, we've already got Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk. We've got those main figures. Okay, so we haven't got Ultron or Quicksilver or Scarlet Witch, but we've got all the main characters already covered for the Avengers side of things. So for me, I just think next year, not having Star Wars in it, I don't think they're going to get rid of the opportunity to put out tons of Star Wars merchandise.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. I mean, I don't think they're gonna leave out Star Wars at all. I definitely feel like it's gonna be Star Wars. But as far as whatever the new Star Wars is gonna be, I think it's gonna be a little vague, or it might be, like you said, a playset that's similar but not based on the movie.
Yeah.
But as far as Star Wars goes, I mean, who knows what direction they can take it? Because just like the movie itself, I mean, Disney has said themselves the what do they call it? The extended.
Oh, the canon.
What?
The canon, I think that's what they call it as. The canon is the extended life on games and books and.
No. I was actually talking about Star Wars. The extended universe outside of the movies.
Yeah, they call that the canon universe or something.
Oh, okay. I guess. Yeah. Well, anyways, whatever. It's out the door, according to Disney. So it's like we don't know what to expect from it. So
no, I think
it could be the same way with Disney.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well. I like the fact that we've got we saw in the trailer we had 4 new characters.
Mm-hmm.
We had that guy, the Sith guy, we assume with the lightsaber. I did tweet JV and sort of put and said, please put this lightsaber in now. You've got 9 months.
Yeah.
It's like we want this.
That's awesome.
We've got the girl, which looks like it could be maybe Leia's daughter, or maybe that's an assumption.
Yeah. Kira or something like that.
Yeah,
What her
they're
name
all
would be?
Daisy, I think, is her first name.
No. But I mean the actual daughter's name.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as
In
well
the
is
Star Wars universe.
they can throw those names out because it's part of the extended universe and start from scratch. And she's
Right.
riding that USB stick. Um, that's all I've seen is pictures of basically just taking the Mickey out the fact
That's
that
so funny.
she looks like she's riding a USB stick. Um, and then we've got the pilot of the X-wing. We don't quite know what he's doing. I'm guessing if they're in the main trailer at the beginning, they're going to be a big character to try and sort of slowly introduce us to these characters straight away to get us used to it. And
Yeah,
then,
he's also actually the X-wing pilot that we saw. I believe he's also playing a role in the next X-Men movie.
yeah,
I think he's playing the main villain if I'm not mistaken.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. We've also got obviously the guy in the stormtrooper outfit at the beginning, because we don't essentially know he's a stormtrooper. He could be dressed up.
He could be in disguise.
He
Yeah.
could be a stormtrooper that's about to turn into a good guy. We don't know the storyline yet, and obviously it's so there's the 4 characters we know of off the bat. I would not be surprised to see all 4 of them as figures or instantly.
I would say five characters. Don't forget that droid.
Yeah. Oh yes. I don't know about the droid. I think that would be one of those little sidekick things that are whizzing
I
around.
know. I'm just playing it.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
But yeah. So I think those characters are probably more than likely they're going to be action. The stores are going to be full of Star Wars stuff for Christmas. They're going to want to make sure they've got the Infinity figures out on the shelf. Whether or not they're there at launch or whether they pushed them back a month, it's hard to tell. That was my only other thought. For if the movie's coming out in December, I mean, it could be December the 1st. So will they want to get the new figures out before that, or will they want to wait till the movie comes out? I'm actually, in some ways, it might be cool if they gave it a 2-month window of get them out a bit later, because they could get out the Star Wars stuff with the launch and then bring them out a bit closer near it, because nobody really knows who the characters are yet.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice if you and I have been talking, like speculating, hoping that they spread out releases of like play sets and toy box discs and all that stuff.
I mean,
if they did, it'd be cool if they did do a play set based off of the new Star Wars movie, that they can push it back towards near the release of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing, isn't it? I mean, because the movie's coming out in December, we're not, the main sort of toy box starter pack only came out a few weeks ago with all the Disney stuff. So we're only talking a couple of weeks. I mean, if it came out in November, it still wouldn't be a major issue. But that was the one thought I did think. It was if they did go down this line, whether or not they wanted to do it bang on for if they launched it in, for example, in August or September, it might be a little bit too early to have figures of characters we don't know much about yet.
Oh no, yeah. Which leads us to this next thought, which would be, how do you think they're going to release Star Wars figures, and if so, are they going to release our classics, like for example Darth Vader or Princess Leia?
I think they are. If they follow the same suit for the Marvel side, as a speculation, I think they could either go one or two ways. They're either going to go do the same thing that they did with Marvel again and do a load of Disney stuff, maybe an extra Marvel thing, and focus primarily on Star Wars, or they could just mix it up and do a mix of everything. But I think we're going to get a load of figures and a playset on the new movie. That's my belief. I don't think they're going to miss it. I do think they're going to do. I think they'll do a classics set, and I think they will do maybe a Rebels playset. If they're going to pick 3, I'm thinking the Force Awakens, Rebels, and the classic, maybe New Hope, or just Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
No, like Clone Wars or anything.
I don't think they'll do Clone Wars. I think they're going to leave that well alone. They've pulled pretty much all merchandise and nearly all the cartoon. Everything about the prequels seems to have been sort of put a little bit on the back burner. They want to push the original trilogy and they want to push the new thing going forward. And it looks to me like anything that happened sort of Clone War-ish is sort of being pushed on the back burner, and I don't think they'll do it. They might do it in later game, because that's the thing. We don't have to rush it. They can put out Star Wars prequel stuff in 4.0 or 5. They don't need to do it straight away.
See, that's why I was thinking. I was thinking they would be doing something within the newer trilogy, the original trilogy, and then this new. I'm assuming is going to be another trilogy.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, let's say they would do, like, Star Wars Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 4, and then Star Wars Episode 7, you know what I mean? Like, spread it out like that.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I say that is because, I don't know if you noticed in the trailer, and obviously I already said about the whole pod racer thing, I feel that J.J. Abrams is trying to get a little mixture of both, both the original trilogy and the new trilogy, just to actually have a little bit
continuity.
Of continuity, and just make it a little relevant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I do agree with you. Rebels is something that's new and popular.
I think they're going to want to.
Yeah,
I think they're going to want to push their own brand. This is a brand new Disney cartoon. They want to have the toys on the shelf for people to buy. They're going to want to push that rather than pushing, figures that are 10 years old or something like that. I think they will probably feel they're going to have to do a Darth Vader.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's the other side of things as well. I did wonder, was depending on what the role of the classic characters are in the new movie. We could have Yoda and Darth Vader and Han, etc., and they could all be in the new toys, in the new toy or new play set as well. I mean, obviously, are they going to have an old Han Solo and a young Han Solo? No, they're probably just going to have one caricature of Han Solo.
Costume change this. No, it's fine.
Well, they probably could do. Yeah, but they could probably do a costume change this. I'm thinking they might go with the classic look because he's going to be a caricature, isn't he?
Yeah. No, I don't feel they can have Vader and Yoda in the newer ones though, because
they'll be ghosts.
They're both gone. But all I know is you just can't have any Star Wars Infinity without Darth Vader or Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, you just have to have those characters. I mean, your C-3PO.
Isn't Obi-Wan in Rebels?
I don't know.
I haven't. I know. I thought
haven't really watched any.
No, I haven't watched it yet because I don't have the Disney. But I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi had a very. I mean, I might be completely wrong here. I'm just gonna have a quick check. Rebels. Nope.
I mean, I've seen only new characters in Rebels as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure they get like some type of maybe direction from like Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna. Yeah, I think I've heard. Yeah, that's right. So I'm wondering whether or not they might do Obi-Wan, and then of course then he could be a crossover character.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if they had him in, for example, Rebels, they could have him as a crossover character into the classic set.
Yeah.
So that I just think they're not gonna want to have and maybe the same, for example, with Luke Skywalker. He could be a classic character that can be crossed over into the new trilogy or into the new movie.
Yeah.
Thinking of what we've got now of how they've done the crossover characters. I mean, they could expand it more than what they've done for 2.0. They might completely radically change all of it, and any of them can go into any of them.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's all up in the air. Obviously, it's so early to tell, but it's definitely opened up a lot of can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, but then that's the thing. The trailer's probably given us more questions than answers. But also, it's like I was thinking, in terms of vehicles and packs. Obviously you've got the vehicles now. Looking at the new trailer, you've got X-wings and Millennium Falcons. Well, here instantly, I'm thinking, well, they can actually mean that if they create an enemy, they can use them in a couple of different playsets now. They can reuse them. I mean, like what I am really looking forward to is having droids as enemies. They could have different styles of droids, different colors and stuff. But things like that, and the different locations, because we saw in the new trailer, we saw Tatooine, and we saw a forest, which we don't know. It could, we don't necessarily know how the playsets are going to play out, but just purely off speculation, I could quite easily see, like maybe, them using different planets for different playsets, kind of thing, and that could be a way of sort of getting around it. But it's certainly, like I said, it's quite fun looking at sort of Disney Infinity and Star Wars and thinking what we got and what we could have in the future. I think so much
yeah,
stuff.
definitely. I mean, I'm just excited thinking about vehicles that we could be flying around in, like X-wings and Millennium Falcons.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think of like the sort of the X-wing, and you compare that to like the Avengers jet power disc we've got. They're very, very, very similar. I don't entirely sure how you. I mean, the Millennium Falcon, and you got the Hulk sat on top of it. I'm not entirely sure how that would look, but it would be quite cool.
I want Hulk in a pod racer. That'd be so cool.
I mean, I think it's
or on a USB drive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could just see that vehicle being used in it. I mean, they did it with that Milano in the Guardians of the Galaxy set. They shrunk it down so you sort of ride on top of it, kind of thing. So that's what I'm thinking. And the Avengers jet, it's not really in proportion. You're not flying.
Well, they're supposed to be toys, so they made them into toys. Yeah.
So that's how I think that will continue, and that maybe is having the whole flight mechanism there allows for Star Wars to really kind of come into its own.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
I mean, on one. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I think it's that thing as well of I do wonder if they're going to look at like how the Marvel playsets have performed, whether or not they'll be willing to take that risk a second time if it's made around sort of Star Wars themed, and whether or not they go down that same route as well of like next year, they could maybe just put out like an Ant-Man figure or an Ant-Man playset or something like that.
I was gonna say, I mean, Star Wars is just so popular though. It's space, you know what I mean? Like, one of the biggest issues with this round 2.0, it's like two of the playsets were similar already, and not to mention, you left out your Disney playsets, and that kind of just
that was a huge backfire.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely, Disney is really good at listening to the fans and what they want. So I definitely see more playsets in our future. So let's just hope we get some good quality ones. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the chances of the feedback that has come through from people not liking the fact there's no Disney playsets, people saying they're jumping out of the game because there's no Disney playsets. There's a lot of competition. You've got Skylanders and Amiibo all sat there on the shelf next to them. If people don't like what they've got, they're going to buy something else. I think it was a mistake. I mean, I'm hoping we maybe get an Ant-Man playset next year.
Yeah, me too. I hope so too.
The movie's out, I think, is it June or July? So therefore, it'll be a bit like Guardians this year. So I'd like for one Marvel playset. We've got lots of movies coming out over the next few years with Black Panther and Captain Marvel. So they've got years and years of bringing out Marvel. I think we're gonna be having Marvel stuff every year. Now, they're not gonna drop that ball just because we've got Marvel one. There's still hundreds of characters and they've got those new movies coming out. They're gonna want to tie into that.
Absolutely.
But I think from that Star Wars trailer, I just can't see them not doing that next year. It's going to be one of their biggest movies. They're going to want to make. They can make so much money off of having all those figures in the stores.
Yeah, that's true.
But I must admit, I'm always you sitting here sort of thinking and going, well, if I was sat here now looking at how Marvel had done, you'd be thinking, right, we're gonna get the starter pack out in August, September. If we can get out a Disney, a Marvel, and a Star Wars playset, get it right out from the word go that there's 3 different versions or 3 different things out. I'd only go with one starter pack. I wouldn't do this whole toy box stuff because I think that confused the waters way too much. And I would say they're going to release Force Awakens a month or two after the starter pack. it just makes sense from my point. If the movie's not out till December, to have a load of figures on the shelf of characters that kids don't know. They might know, obviously will get used to the trailers and kids will be buying into it, but it's hard. It's a hard sell selling. It's like here in the UK. They didn't release the Hero and Baymax properly here in the UK yet because the movie's not out. Would people be buying Hero and Baymax in the US if the movie wasn't out till February, like it is here? People wouldn't be buying the characters the same. Hey. Hello.
Sorry, sound went off a little bit. Hello?
Hello. Yep. Can you get me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I was just sort of saying there with for example, because like Big Hero 6 isn't out here in the UK, it's not out till the summer, so the characters haven't really been properly released in stores. And the same thing would apply in the US, where if Big Hero 6 wasn't out till January, they wouldn't have those figures in the store now.
Oh no, yeah, you make a big point because believe it or not, while I was out Black Friday shopping, I must have visited, I don't know, like 7 different stores. All the stores, Baymax was sold out completely.
Yeah.
And that has everything to do with the movie being released.
Yeah, it's all just down to timing. So I think in some ways that the new stuff, I don't think it will be available at launch. I think there's going to be Star Wars things, and they might have the power discs, etc. But I think if they're going to do figures and playset, I'm assuming that it would be done later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to know if we look back on this episode in next summer and we are completely wrong, and they've just done Infinity classic cartoons and there's nothing in there at all. They've gone complete U-turn and gone back pure.
The way I'm thinking is, and I'm completely thinking about the ability to do DLC, and what if they just did classic first and then maybe waited a few months after the movie released to do or to release the movie playset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many possibilities now because of this DLC patch that eventually will happen, where we get to see the Tron figures and stuff, or the unannounced Tron.
I still think they will want to use the new trilogy as a promotional point for getting people to buy into it, knowing it's coming out for it.
Oh no, definitely, it makes sense. It's just like Guardians.
Yeah, I don't think they would sort of try and hide it because I don't think it would make sense financially. I know if I was releasing a thing, you'd want people to know that those characters are coming. You come straight out the gate with, these new characters with Darth, and you make a point of this is a selling point really. People are are excited about this, and that's what they're going to want to know about.
It's going to be tough because there's just so many great characters part of the original trilogy. I mean, and then you have the newer trilogy that introduces some other characters that you would want. I mean, I'm going off of General Grievous or Mace Windu for the first ones, and then you have Obi-Wan, Darth, and you have all your classics.
I mean, they can sort of feed out extra characters at later dates in later editions if they wanted to for DLC. I think they're going to keep pretty much to the core characters. I don't think you're going to, I'm thinking here, Darth, Han, Leia, Luke, maybe and the droids.
I was gonna say, if you add those up, it's not that many. I mean, you can count them like less than 10 fingers.
Yeah, but that's a playset, isn't that? Would be what we're used to.
Well, yes and no. I'm just saying because remember that they use a lot of characters for mission givers inside playsets, so it's like you're gonna need some of those characters to stay there as non-playable figures, and then you're gonna have.
But then they could just have a random sort of evil. If you had like the Darth Vader, you could have that really creepy old guy from the first movie give out bad ones, or you could have some random sort of essentially like a rebel bloke just standing there giving out missions or the Admiral Akbar or something like that maybe they wouldn't make, they're not going to turn him into a figure.
Oh no, of course not. No.
So they could use those kind of lesser known characters like Admiral Akbar or maybe even sort of Lando or something like that, just to kind of give out mission stuff in the classic stuff.
I guess the way I'm trying to say it is because, with Marvel you have different franchises.
Yeah,
This is one
yeah.
big giant franchise.
Well, I don't know. See, I'm kind of viewing it now that there's actually there's four different franchises within the Star Wars now. You've got the classics, the new treat.
No, correct. But what I'm talking about is continuity as far as, crossover
Yeah,
characters, as you were putting it. They don't need a crossover because they're all part of the
yeah.
same extended universe, is what I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
but then it's the same thing really applies to Marvel. All of them could really have crossed over. But I don't know. I think they're just gonna. If it's like if you looked at the classic trilogy, for example, at the minute that we know about, if you were to say, if I said to you now, you've got six characters or seven characters you could use, you could fill them up like that, and that's how I think they haven't got the space to do those additional characters. And then if they pick like 5-6 characters from Rebels, 5-6-7 characters from the new movie, we're up to 20 plus characters, so we're back into the Marvel zone again.
I don't know. I'm still adamant in thinking that they're probably going to do four. That we're going to have more figures because believe it or not, the newer trilogy, even though it's not as popular to the diehard Star Wars fans, it is the newer trilogy, and I
Oh,
just don't think they're going to leave that out.
I think I could easily, they did what, 7 characters for Avengers.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're easily going to see in the region of 7 characters plus for each playset. I can't see
Hmm.
them, and instantly then you're up to 21 characters just for 3 playsets. If they went to 4 playsets, it'd just be insane. But it's just thinking about
And
where
then
my boxes are going to go.
that also is going to leave a lot of people wondering if Disney is going to be left out as much again.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think that's the big thing that it's
yeah.
it's you chuck, and then if we said, for example, say we chucked in, I don't know, the Fantastic Four and Ant-Man into the equation as well. Not that I think they were going to do a Fantastic Four yet, but if they throw like half a dozen or 3 or 4 Marvel characters in, people are going to go, where's my Disney, where's Goofy, I'm sure we're going to see Goofy, you know are we going to see,
Yeah.
I would be not surprised if we saw with Cinderella out. I don't know whether or not we'd see Cinderella. She would be in there, and then you've got that new Inside Out movie as well. Is it that's out next
Oh
year?
yeah, that's true, and that's going to be a big one.
So things like that. They are gonna be sort of. This is where the DLC really kicks in. I still think they've got to do a lot. I think they need to do. They might even. I can't see us completely surprising us with like just not even doing a 3.0 and just doing 2.0 and just keep adding on with DLC. I think they're going to have to do a start again with a new starter pack to get people into it.
Yeah.
I don't think they can go down the full DLC route for everything yet. I don't think we are quite ready. Well, they haven't even done the experiment yet with the new unannounced figures.
Well, we're still a year away, so we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
This is the thing is, I mean, that's the thing is, it's so easy to just speculate and guess, and we could be completely wrong. They could completely pull the wool over our eyes with something completely different, and that's what you have to remember, and that's what's kind of fun about it. This is the idea of doing this sort of trailer sort of speculation story. It's just that we are just guessing. We're just purely just prodding and applying things that we've learned from the first one.
Or we might be just thinking for them, and they're probably listening and taking notes.
Yep.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Okay. We'll do that. They've said to do this. When you
Give us
look,
Darth Vader.
yeah, Darth Vader. Yeah. I want Darth Maul, to be honest. That would be.
Oh, I would love Darth Maul too. Yeah, definitely. But see, I want General Grievous.
Yeah.
General Grievous.
Yeah.
General Grievous would be
I
pretty
just,
epic.
I just don't see. I think they'll leave it. I think they're going to leave it for. They've got too many characters to do, so I think they'll just leave them for a future. They could whack that into 4.0 or 5.0. I think he's in. I don't think there's the fact that I've seen him in questions asking if they want him in there. That I just think they're going to leave.
Who would not want him in there?
Yeah.
Or
There's too,
Yoda.
there's too much
you gotta
money.
have Yoda.
There's money on the table waiting to be taken with him. And that's the way I'm just looking at it.
Speaking of which, I need another job because that's going to be a lot of figures.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to need another box. But that's the thing. It's just going to keep growing. But then this leads on to that same thing as well. Of if they've got to be careful that there's one or two ways of looking at it. They want to make the money off the Star Wars and keep us all happy. But if you're not a Star Wars fan, you're gonna be if you're left out in the code for 2 years running. That's a very bad way of sort of keeping fans into a franchise.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. You definitely need playsets for your Disney fans.
As much as I think that the Disney side of things is great. The way that the toy box is this time round, but I think not having that sort of playset feel, just there's something missing for when you get that new character come through and you can't do anything with it other than going in a toy box.
Oh, I mean, and I think it's going to be the same way for Marvel because I mean, we had 6 playsets on 1.0 for Disney and then 0 this time around. What if Marvel had 3 and they only have 1 in the next round? They're still going to be upset. All the Marvel fans. So
yeah, I mean, especially if
you
you
have to figure out a compromise.
Yeah, and I think the only way they're going to compromise it is to to maybe spread it out. Because I mean we're going off 6 as the magic number from 1.0. Yeah, we only got 3 for 2. So I still think we're going to see. I think we'll see more for the future games. I think they're getting extra developers in and working because they know that under no stretch of the imagination there's been a huge backlash by not doing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You just go onto the official forums or on the official Facebook page or anything like that.
No, don't do it.
It's not. That's all it is because the people that aren't paying it that don't pay attention as much as us. If every time sort of something sneezes, we sort of say thank you. Some people don't. They just expect it to be there, and they're looking for those things. And I think if they don't address that better, I think it could be a problem. The toy box mode, either that or they go maybe the entire opposite route and just do a lot more toy game discs and use them as the new content.
Yeah, we won't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
But that's the thing as well. I mean, we're guessing. There could be 5 toy box game discs for Star Wars. Will they? Who knows? But I think it is quite fun when you look at this trailer, and I'm just going to pop it up again just for the sake of it. You think of all the vehicles and the toys and stuff that we can build with Star Wars. It's going to completely change the whole game again, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely just opening up a new way of playing the game. So it'd be awesome.
I mean, even just having everything, just all these vehicles and themes and skydomes and buildings and such, just to be able to build stuff in the toy box is going to open up, everyone's imaginations to doing whatever they want to do, and that will create lots of content as well.
Absolutely.
And you got your Mickey Mouse fighting against Iron Man in an X-wing race kind of thing. That's what it's all about. And as each year it goes on, you've got all these different universes all colliding and being used together.
Yeah.
But I think in general, I mean, it's great. It'll be great to hear what other people think, what they're expecting to see maybe in future editions of Disney Infinity. You can comment, you can use our Facebook group, get in touch with Twitter, and give us the feedback. This is what have some fun with it. Just give your own opinions. We want to hear from it. It's all speculation at this time, so nobody's right, nobody's wrong. If you completely disagree and you think they're just gonna go completely Disney and forget Star Wars, you're free to think that. But I think it's one of those fun things. We've got probably 5 months or so before we maybe hear anything more about the future game. We've still got figures.
I will let you know.
Yes. I mean, I think in general we've got we've got a lot of new releases coming out the other side of Christmas. We've got the 5. We've still got 5 Marvel and maybe 3 Disney and a variant figure all to come out.
Yep, we still have a bunch to go.
Yeah, we've still got loads of figures. But like I said, we've got Crystal Mickey this week, so that'll keep everyone happy over Christmas.
I'm just excited for Loki to come out. So.
Yeah, Loki. I think he should be. I'd be interested to be able to go back into the playsets with those characters and kind of replay them again a bit later down the line.
I'll be confused with Yondu. That's gonna be weird. Because
What?
with that long, prolonged
Oh, that yeah,
quest,
he's in.
it's like,
Yeah, I
God,
didn't think that was very. I didn't really enjoy that whole bit.
it was
Really,
weird.
it was just like you're defending this kind of. And it would have been quite cool if you could have used that as a toy, and
Yeah,
you could have used that as a defense thing, like instead of just having that big dome for the tower defense. If you could maybe have used it as a rolling defender, that would have been cool in a toy box.
yeah, they have. I mean, that I can start talking to you about 1.0 stuff with this. Like a lot of aspects of play sets that you can't use on in the toy box. We missed that, like the water and the ships in the Pirates
Yeah,
of the Caribbean. Like, oh, I want it, or the train in the Lone Ranger. It's like all
yeah,
this stuff I would want. And no, yeah. But anyways, that's a whole
yeah.
different episode.
Yeah, we decided that because with the Star Wars trailer, we would basically push back our discussion about the Disney toy box game lists next week, because we just figured Star Wars, it was this big thing that we had to we were excited about it, and it just feels right to have a full on speculation episode just to get it out of our systems so we can
Yeah, for now, definitely.
yeah once we get, oh yeah.
I was gonna say we'll pay attention to JV's Twitter and see if he
Yeah.
starts throwing hints there.
I mean, I think in general, I think basically from Christmas till I would say Easter, it's just full on speculation mode with nobody knowing anything. Once we start getting information crawling out about future editions, it makes everything a little bit more exciting from our point of view. But yeah, it should be quite cool. Right, so
Yeah, we can't wait.
so anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check us out on VanimationKingdom.com. If you're watching it on YouTube, remember to subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on iTunes or any other version of podcast, remember to subscribe on there as well to keep up with the latest episode. We are on all the social medias. We're on Twitter. Vanimation Kingdom just hit over 3,000 followers on Twitter this weekend. We're also on Facebook. We've got our Facebook page, and on Instagram, which I've recently this week started posting to. I'm looking at all the different kind of social medias and just trying to sort of use them more effectively. So yeah, and do all of that. And again, try and make sure you enter our competition. We're still giving away Donald Duck and Tinkerbell this week. And I think that pretty much wraps up that. Have you got anything else you want to add there, Abe?
No, you actually just tapped into it when I was about to say it, so you're good.
Yeah.
I was just going to talk about the competition.
Yes,
So.
yeah, cool. Get on and enter that competition. And on the so we've still got 2 more competitions coming up in the next 2 weeks after that. And then once we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll be doing another giveaway as well. So we've got quite a few bits and pieces coming up, hopefully soon. So I think that pretty much leaves us. So may the Force be with you.
Ah,
Yes.
and to you,
Yes.
young Padawan.
Yes, you are. All right, laters, guys. Hey, I am your father.
Daddy!
My arm.